Mishi Bellamy here. Just wanted to tell you about a show that I'm having in Edinburgh with two friends, Minette Bell Macdonald and Silvy Weatherall. And the show is called Stone, Bone and Linen, and it's at the Dundas Street Gallery in Edinburgh from the 17th to the 29th of September. And we'd love to see you. The artists will be at the gallery every day, including Sundays, at the weekends, open from 10 till 7 or maybe even later. Somebody wants to come in later. And the reason it's called Stone, Bone and Linen is because Minette is working on stone in the sense of she's been very attracted to the Paleolithic cave art, and it's her interpretations of the cave paintings, which she's going to explain a little further on in the video. Silvy is, I suppose, concept artist, but she herself will explain what she's doing with bone, with skulls and bones and china and beautiful, beautiful found objects. And I'm linen paintings. If there's any unifying thing, it might be colour. There's a lot of beautiful turquoise in the china that Silvy's using, and turquoise as a mineral. And in Minette's art, there's a lot of ochres and beautiful colours that were found, you know, on the cave paintings. So now, next clip is going to be Silvy explaining it. After that, Minette. Thank you. Look forward to seeing you.
Already cleaned by mites and grubs and worms, and this is part of my wordplay. I'll look at the word bull, and this one will be toro d'oro, which will be gilded in 23.5 carat gold, and it's going to be absolutely magnificent. I also have more bulls.
Okay.
So back here you can see, come on over to my bull lock. So I also collect old keys from people who are having a house clearance. A lot of the time you look at a chest of drawers full of old keys going, heavens, what am I going to do with that? Well, send them to me and I might do something with them.
Perfect.
So this is my bull lock, here's the lock, but what is a lock without a key? That's my main question. And then here we have also in the corner, I'll turn on its swivelling stand because it's so cool, is my bull in a china shop. Again,
wonderful.
Utilising broken plates and china. Now the thing with the broken plates and china is they're all quite nice bits of china because they're not your sort of IKEA cereal bowl or your Tesco's mug, because that's not sentimental enough to keep. But people who may have had Nana's teapot or a wedding present or a christening mug, they can't quite throw it away. They'll save it for a rainy day, and then they look at this pile of old junky china and think, heavens, what am I going to do with it? I'll send it to Silv. So here I am, your merry recycler.
I like the handle. Didn't realise before that you'd left
so
the handle.
there's the handle. Often I document the kind gifts that I'm given before I actually do something with it. So I've got a portrait of the handle along with its broken teacup and saucer, which may or may not come into the show, I'm not sure.
Okay.
So here's another example of what I've done with keys. This is a piece called Drowning in a Sea of Tears, and in each teardrop you'll see a key. And each key represents a family, a lost life of a family that have drowned in the bid for freedom and escaping from strife and plight. It's been in response to all the dreadful news on the radio of more boats sinking and drowning in the Mediterranean or in the Channel. And the key becomes an amulet, it becomes a symbol of hope. When they flee their hometown, their home, they may lock whatever they've got, pop it in their pocket. It's very small and portable.
I think it's beautifulness.
And it becomes a lot bigger than the key itself. What else have I got? I've got Diana. She's my goddess of hunting. A young man who shoots, target shoots, gives me his old bullets. So this is Diana. She's made of spent bullets, practically vegan because they're only shooting targets. apart from this old friend, which is gilded. And then here we have Artemis. Artemis was made in response to a garage clearance by an old friend of mine who was leaving, downsizing, and her late husband had shot all of these beasts, and I wanted to pay homage to them, and I manifested a woodland goddess with a crown of antlers. This I made with clay, and yeah, she is.
That's a beautiful piece. Fantastic.
I think that's
I love
about
it. Is that all? Or what about
there I've got some drawings. Shall I
yeah.
talk about the drawings? Because they're sort of in response to my bullies. So look, this is the pristine canvas. Isn't that nice?
Yes, that's beautiful.
Okay, so let's move that.
Beautiful. Little dog. You have
Come on,
to move.
Guts. You don't want to be a film star. You don't photograph very well because you're black. Sit. Good girl, stay. Okay, so here I have. Are you ready?
Yes, going. Keep
So
going.
here I have. I love to work in tandem with my sculptural work with paintings and drawings, because while the glue's drying or while something's setting, I can work on something else.
Right.
And so what I really wanted to do was to sort of sketch my ambition to turn bones into china, playing with the source material, which is bone china. And who'd have thought it? Bone china actually contains bones.
Wonderful.
Now I think they make a synthetic bone china, but I just think of all those vegans who go to dainty tea shops and ask for a vegan slice and eat it off a bone china plate. So here I am transforming the bones into sort of willow pattern, lovely blue and white china. And I have a project that's undergoing at the moment where I will actually make china bones. So this is in investigation at the moment, still in the process, but I'm hoping that maybe in the show you may have the first world premiere of my china bones.
I love it.
Bone china for
Lovely,
china bones.
Silvy. Great. Well, thank you. That's brilliant. That can go up with the rest.
Okay, is that enough?
Yes.
So,
Okay.
So the reason I paint Paleolithic work or cave paintings, which is an easier word to say, is because I think it's very important that we try and remember where we all once came from, and we all did once live in caves, and we were all hunter-gatherers, and even though we were hunting and gathering, and we still had a huge respect for the animals which we killed, which they killed and ate, which was their survival. Also, I think the other amazing thing about cave art is the purity of image, which is totally unpolluted by all the images that we have now through our telephones or television or film or whatever. And they were painting in dark caves with their hands, and they were memorising when they came in what they'd seen outside, whether they were hunting or just sitting.
Right.
And they memorised the purity of line, and their lines are totally pure and uninfluenced, and actually what's the word I'm searching for here? That they were just as they saw it, and their paintings, you can read what you want into them, but in my humble opinion, I personally think that the cave art was their way of communicating with each other and what they'd seen. I don't think there was any real spiritual meaning behind these cave paintings at all. I just think they'd come in, they'd seen a herd of bison or a herd of rhino, and they decided to illustrate it on the cave wall. And what is very fascinating, of course, is that in Northern Europe, which is what we're talking about here, is that the countryside was running with rhinos, bears, lions, wolves, elephants, elands, oros, giant bison, and so forth and so on. And I think it's important that we try and remember where we came from.
Does it correspond with the Ice Age, sweetie? I don't know the dates.
Now then, not sure.
Okay.
I think could have been, it was after the Ice Age, of course it was, because the Ice Age wiped out the dinosaurs and various other volcanic eruptions. It was after the Ice Age, so it was 2,000-3,000 BC.
So do you think they were living in the caves?
Yes,
Oh,
they
okay,
lived in the
yeah.
caves. That's where they all lived.
Mhm.
Obviously, it was their form of shelter. But they went out and speared animals to eat, and it was just a pure matter of survival.
Right.
But the cave paintings was such an important part of their culture and communicating with each other. And so I've done my own version of cave paintings, and obviously bringing in the human figure and maybe bringing in quite an electric colour here, but really always using earth colours and
Stunning, that
try
one.
and
Yes.
finding the sort of slightly mysterious darkness of a cave as you'd walk in and you'd sort of light it up, and then suddenly there you would see an image of a bison or whatever.
And what about the bull? Is it a bull or a bison?
The bull or bison, I'm not sure really what they were, but yeah, he was a bull, which I think was in the Chauvet caves,
Gotcha.
and they were depicted very often in a lot of the artwork,
Mm-hmm.
and as were horses and bears and lions.
I suppose the bull was the first myth, wasn't it, with Mithras?
The bull was the first
Yes,
myth,
the power
but
of the
there
bull.
was the power
Yeah.
of the bull, and then of course the power of the rhinos, which I think is quite an important one because I think he's quite interesting. The rhino.
Oh, yes, okay.
The rhinos.
That's stunning, that.
It's very different, isn't it?
The light. It's so funny because you can almost see the light coming from the cave.
Well, I slightly modernised the back of the cave, so it's almost like a sort of curtain backdrop.
Yeah.
That was quite a challenge, that one.
Okay. No, fascinating.
Do you think that will do?
I think so.
Oh, thank God. Phew.